In this lesson, we learn about two modifiers related to the splines that we studied earlier. There are two in particular that are useful to model quickly, and that you can use for basic models. Let's go to Create and make a spline. So we could make a circle and a star. Let's see how the shell modifier works. Go to Edit on one of our shapes, and in the modifier panel, press S and look for shell. There it is. Simple. What shell does is to create, as its name suggests, a kind of shell, and generating the geometry from that. As you see, it has very basic properties. We'll focus on the first three: inner mounts, outer. See how it increases and decreases. And the number of segments that we want to add to that shell we created. Again, quite simple. The next modifier we'll take a look at is Lathe. Go to Splines again, create a line. What this modifier does is create a sort of 360 degrees rotation around the spline that we created. It's something that's a little difficult to explain, but easy to understand once you see it. Go to the front view and create a shape. Let's create this simple shape, for instance. Go to Edit, and in the sub-objects that we already know, select Points, Vertices, and we need to make sure that the points are open. This should be at 0. We're going to apply the Lathe modifier and see how it works. Here you can see how it works. If we have an open shape, so half, what the lathe does is generate a 660 degrees rotation around the spline we created. In Edit, you can calculate the degrees. If you want it to be under 360, or you can select the direction depending on the axis you want. Let's try Y. So with this we can create very complex shapes quite easily by just creating half of our object. If you made a more complex model, when you added the lathe, it would create a kind of symmetry. So these two modifiers are very useful, and I recommend you use them often. They save you lots of time and give you a great result.